liking what they seeing. They ain't liking what they seeing. And I wish people would tighten up, because don't try to make your name off of me. I'm already foolish enough. And what you do and say publicly ain't gonna affect my image. Because when you remember, I'm gonna end by saying this, then I'm gonna say God bless you and God bless the citizens of Flint. When y'all go low, guess what I do? Get right with you. So y'all might well cut that strategy out. It ain't gonna work with me. God bless you. God bless the citizens of the city of Flint. And I pray for me and my family. And when I ask for forgiveness, it's in my room. I got girlfriends I don't call. The administration better start ringing our phone. Because I ain't chasing damn man and ain't chasing too many women at age 60. Thank you, Mr. President.
You're welcome.
Was back in
Mr. Jones,
yes.
I'm sorry, and then I won't interrupt. He tell me the microphones is on them. Could you come to this end?
Sure.
I'd appreciate it. I'll be listening when I get home. Okay.
So again, by looking at your next item.
This is the worst council. I'm going to be dead in the middle of it. I'm not going to be around a council who don't meet, walk out, don't want to spend money for public safety and blight, and everybody know them the top priorities. I'm not going to be on a council who think they can tell me, Mr. Moore, I seen you now and you need a whole plan, and they done already voted on a half a plan.
Now, through you, Madam President, to Mr. Edwards. Mr. Edwards, I heard the name of the deputies. Is it a secret to say the name of the CFO, the Chief Financial Officer? What's his or her name?
Her name. I'm here to answer any questions. I'm here to answer any particular questions. I've been here, but I was just muted.
You out of order, Mr. Neely. I mean, don't just butt in, but I'm glad that you're here. But you could have let Mr. Edwards, who had the flow, and me, So, Madam President, through you to Mr. Neely, let me direct this, Mr. Neely, if I may. Through you, Madam President, to Mr. Neely. Mr. Neely, what is this allegedly interim Chief Financial Officer's name, his or her?
Yes, we will be calling a meeting for March 1st, so there's no need. There's always been a plan included to make sure that we call the meeting to be in compliance with the city charter. So that meeting will be called, and also, right now, as we work out the details, the finalization of who our CFO, a extensive search has been found, was put in place to find the person which met the criteria in which we needed for the city of Flint. But that going back to Councilwoman Galloway.
No, stick back with Councilman Mays, who got the floor. Mr. Neely, you out of order. Let me have my floor, and you can go back to her. Point of order, Madam Chair. Point of order.
You're out of order.
Point of order. I appeal the ruling of the
If you ask a question, you need to let the person who's trying to answer your question speak and not interrupt them. So you're out of order, Mr. Mays. Is there any other discussion?
Madam President.
Mr. Mays?
It just only happened 2-3 minutes ago. My memory, I told you it very well. I asked a specific question of a name. Was it a lady or a man? If he say no. If he say he not going to take me to Ms. Galloway's question because he don't come up here running this. This is the legislative branch, a co-equal branch. It's happening repeatedly. I got certain time. I'm going to move on it, direct it, and he can go back to you, Ms. Galloway, or whoever. I'm not the one. My position is this. When I say point of order, he should cease talking, and you too. You should say, what's your point? You don't say, ignore my point of order and then rule me out of order. The rules say if you ignore it, you shall be removed. Now, after I discuss this appeal, I'm going to get to you shall be removed. You shall be removing yourself instantaneously because you ignored a point of order. It ain't like we ain't warned you. Your job is to say to Mr. Neely, cease talking. You should cease talking. And your words should be, Mr. Mays, what's your point of order? And I will tell you, You don't rule me out of order without a warning. You don't rule me out of order when I'm saying point of order. I was in order. In every case, if you ignore one, you shall be removed. That's where we're at. So I'll be voting no that you can rule me out of order, and I'm saying point of order. I don't care if you endorsed him. This is a council meeting. This ain't no politics 101. Who do y'all think I am? So I'll be voting no. And everybody who knows right from wrong should be voting no. I ain't out of order. You was out of order, and you shall be removed because I said point of order. Your job is to facilitate the meeting, cease everybody from talking, and ask what's my point. You don't ignore it and rule me out of order. The vote on this is no. It's a very important vote.
See, I made it up in my mind in my 50s that if I believe strong in something, I'm going to speak strong and will die for it. I will die for what I believe in. I can get shot in the head, I'll be dead. Hope I go to heaven. This ain't no plaything for me, Miss Herkenroder. But Madam Chair, thank you, and we gonna talk again. Y'all might get me out on that golf course. If we play one hole and I win, you ain't gonna hear the end of it. I might not go to hole 9 or 18. Chief. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Exactly what this is.
Madam Chair.
That's been moved and seconded. In discussion, Ms.
Madam.
Worthy.
Mr. Newsom, can you explain
To the chair.
to the chair? Explain exactly what this is.
Madam Chair.
Councilman
Doesn't Ms. Worthy know what this?
Councilman Mays, Ms. Worthy. has
So,
the
Ms.,
floor
it's
in
a
the
point of
second.
information.
You didn't say that.
Yes, I
So-
didn't I?
No, you
Okay,
didn't.
well, point of
Thank you,
information.
Councilman Mays, what's your point of information?
She don't know what this is?
Councilman Mays, thank you, your point of information has been accepted. Ms. Worthy?
Point of order, Matt, point of order.
Councilman Mays, no. You are not gonna mock, she has the
Point
right
of
to ask
order.
a question. What is your
I'm
point of
appeal
order?
what you just
What is your
did. When I
point
say
of
point of order, you don't talk to me. That's what's my
What's your
point.
point of order?
This ain't a committee meeting. And if you let her continue
Councilman
with
Mays,
this,
what rule is being violated that you are calling for a point of order?
that this ain't a committee meeting and you treating it as
Councilman Mays, I
one.
am
And
not.
when you continue, I'm gonna appeal.
Thank you, Councilman Mays. She has 5 minutes, and she has not violated any of the rules. She has 5 minutes to discuss.
His talk don't count on the 5 minutes. That's the rule. And she said she didn't know what this is. We done had this for over a month, a
Councilman-
year.
Thank you, Councilman.
So
Mays.
if you let her continue to turn this into a committee meeting and we already late, I'm gonna appeal your ruling.
You can appeal.
Okay, because this ain't discussion on the motion.
Councilman Mays, you can, I don't agree with you.
So we'll rule out order.
She's not out. of
Okay, well, I'm gonna appeal you. This ain't finna be no committee meeting. I ain't gonna sit in here till 6 o'clock.
That's what I'm talking about.
She can talk about out there just like the other one.
Just like everybody else. And so.
That don't
she is
count to
not
her
out of
5
order.
minutes.
She has a quick question, and if maybe you would allow her like you want everybody to allow you to speak, she probably would.
That's why I was cussing in here that y'all didn't allow me when y'all interrupted me. Don't play that game. I done did my point of order rule on it. Either you gonna let Newsom speak and I'm gonna appeal you, or you go. I have appealed you. I've been said that.
Of the decision of the chair, is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Davis has that has supported the appeal. Just for the record, council, you did a point of order, which is if there is a violation. She is not violated anytime there is a proper support of moving and resolution and a second. Each council person has the ability to have 5 minutes. And yes, if they ask a question, that 5 minutes is halted, but there is no violation to the rules here. So Councilman Mays' appeal, in my opinion, is not valid. With that being said, is there any discussion on that appeal?
Yeah, Madam Chair.
Councilman Mays.
When you and this council allow Mr. Newsom to stand up and go through this long drawn out thing on her appeal of this, I'm going to ask Mr. Goodman to stand up in my 5. I'm going to ask Miss Jackson to stand up in my 5, and everybody in here associated with these houses. And I'm going to show you how you're not going to treat me or nobody else differently for something she says she didn't know and don't know. We done had this for a year, 2-3 months, and she going to play a game in front of these folks. Can you tell me what this is? If you don't know what this is, you sure enough been sleeping in council meetings. Show up. Quit press conferences and talking.
Point of information, Art,
What's your point?
forgive me because I was not here, but do we have a motion on the floor to postpone the discussion items?
That's a fact.
Okay, well, you're confusing me with your talk of special orders. I don't know how that.
Well, you got to get a little more intelligent. I'm not confusing myself. What I'm doing, I'll help you to it. I'll educate you. When you got a motion on the floor, and if you confused about that, laughing and giggling in a serious meeting, then I feel sorry for you. And I'll try my best to explain again why we have discussion on a motion on a postponement.
I believe that there is an error in what is going on here. He was
Tell me what the
present.
error is.
I am going to tell you.
Okay.
Councilman Mays was not a part of the meeting when the motion failed.
So you're saying somebody else who was here that voted in the affirmative has to make the motion?
Right, and that's
Is
all.
there-
Mr. President,
So he can.
I was here in the committee meeting when it failed, and I'm doing a motion for reconsideration on that. And that's a fact. She was the only one voted no. The vote was 4-1.
Okay.
It was 4-1. Now she can keep struggling, Mr. Griggs. I sure hope you stick with us on this, because we need you. She the only one that voted no. Mr. Griggs left early, and Miss Jerry Winfrey Carter went to the bathroom.
Point
The
of
vote
order,
was
Mr.
4-1,
President.
and I
What's your
voted.
point?
The motion failed in the special council meeting. He's talking about a committee meeting that wasn't relevant. He can't do a motion for reconsideration when he was absent for the original vote of this resolution. On that Friday, he was absent because he had been removed from the meeting. So he doesn't get to do a motion for reconsideration.
You've made your point.
Mr. President, Mr. President, it don't matter
Somebody else
who,
is coming and make it.
I'm just saying, but now let's vote. to
Point of order.
remove
I
the
want you to rule.
Why is she
He
out
shouldn't be
of order?
talking.
Point of order.
Wait a minute. Hold
She is just wild
on.
today.
We seem like we just
One
wanna
vote
continue.
sitting by
Hold on
herself
just a
raising
second.
hell.
Hold on just a second. Hold on just a second. Now, we don't need to keep doing this.
Mr.
He's not going to make the motion. She is.
That's not what I'm saying. You didn't
I
rule.
just ruled on it. I said that he couldn't.
Raise all this hell.
I just said that, and you're so
From
wanting
the
to
time
argue
she
with him.
get
You're
here
missing
to the
what I'm
time she leave, just a hell race. And everybody ain't the same. And so guess what, Mr. Palladino? I'll be voting yes. I'll be voting yes, and I'm gonna predict that you gonna settle this suit. And y'all be careful when you come over in the community. I'll wrap up by saying this. I'm saying what I think you out of order, Mr. Palladino, and
you're
that's
out
the
of order.
problem we
Mr.
got.
Mays, you are out of order.
No, I can
Your
call
tones are-
him to
no,
order.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
You can when they're public
A member
speaking.
of the council can call a member of the
When they're
public to
public
order.
speak- But Mr. Mays, you're out of order. Your time is up, sir. Mr.
Point of
Palladino,
order.
you are out of
Point
order.
of
I'm asking
order.
that you not go back and forth.
Point of
What is the
order.
point of order, Mr. Mays?
We always able to wrap up. Now, this the second week you done told me I couldn't wrap up when that bell done went off.
Mr. Mays, okay.
And that's the different
Ma-
treatment.
Mr. Mays, just so you know, and I want you to make sure you're saying this to the public, we don't have to allow anybody to wrap up. If you'd like to wrap up, please wrap up.
Well,
But you and
thank you.
Mr. Palladino will not go back and forth. Please wrap up,
Well, that's
sir.
something to do with him, because I got the floor. What I mean by that is be careful, because had they charged you and locked you up and took you through a criminal justice process, which I don't think happened in this case, it might be a different outcome.
Mr. Mays is doing now, and I'm making
And
a
I'm
record
willing
for it,
to
and
go
we'd
the
like state
distance on
police
this.
to respond.
Because you're not
Thank
going
you.
to tell, you interrupted me talking to Tamar,
It is.
Suzanne, Chad, and then gonna rule that I can't ask questions.
I didn't rule that.
You did rule it, and constructively, you told him don't answer to get up. He left. I had tried to question him twice.
His department head had said, Chad, you're free.
I'm not studying what you're talking about,
And
Ms.
then
Galloway.
you started talking.
I'm not studying what you're talking
Madam
about. You
Chair,
done
may
went
we
way
recess
overboard
for
now.
10 minutes?
It's
We will
chaos.
recess for 10
take
minutes.
a 10-minute, 15-minute recess.
Officers that unless somebody's up there fighting and throwing blows and putting their hands on somebody, we don't have a chance to
And let me say this in all
tell
fairness.
Chief Johnson
We
that
ain't
he is
talking
on
to you.
speakerphone.
Let me say all
And he
this to
better
you,
be
Chief.
willing to say that in
Chief, let
court.
me say this to you. I'm sitting
How
here.
about that?
All our meetings are recorded. Maurice Davis sitting right here beside me.
Chief Johnson
I
needs
done
to make sure
stayed
that
out
he's
the
doing
way,
things
and when I
orderly, too.
come up, yeah.
And you heard Chief, we all hear
Yeah.
you, Chief Johnson. We all hear you, because
Yeah.
you're on speakerphone.
Hold up, I'll take it off.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He didn't know
look, so
that.
I'm being very careful.
He didn't know
Yeah.
he was on speakerphone saying stuff to Councilman Mays. So he's hindering, just for the record, Chief Johnson said, unless somebody's
Oh, I
fighting.
understand. I
So
wouldn't
the fact
deal with
you're
that. She
being
up here
abused by
fussing and
Councilman
hollering. Now, I
Mays,
ain't studying.
according to Chief Johnson, on his speakerphone, unless somebody is fighting. So we have to get into a fight with Councilman Mays for the police to respond to our.
That's what she say. Here she taking what you said because you won't come and remove out. It's true. It's true. Go ahead.
And also put on record, we call Chief and 911 every 30 minutes. We call the police every 30 minutes in this body. So that only make common sense.
Now sit here, hold up, stay gone. Maurice, would you tell this man I'm making way much sense and this is ridiculous?
Yeah, because that's what they do every 5
Come on, Chief, I ain't studying her trying to take what you doing and we calling you. And she gonna try to reverse it like you is. That's what she doing, it's crazy. I ain't studying. Anybody trying to get me arrested when I walk into a meeting and say Madam Chair and calling me in, that's a problem. Now, what she like, we ain't got the right to call you, I'm gonna call you on her. She out of order. And you won't come because we ain't fighting. I ain't gonna fight her, but I'm gonna call the police. I see you nodding with her. You ain't on this phone. I beg your pardon. So you heard what you said. What'd he say? What'd he say? I'm telling you, I ain't on speakerphone. I'm in person. I call the police on my for refusing to allow this elected person to speak. Now, right or wrong, and see ain't we down there in front of city or Flint Journal with signs with your name on. Right or wrong? Ms. Galloway.
Thank you. Councilman Mays. Ms. Speaker.
Point of information.
What's your point of information?
Through you to Mr. Griggs. You misreading about the open case. We gonna
Councilman
try
Mays, you do not get to use a privileged motion to take the floor.
to ask
I
a
will
question.
get you as
Let
soon
me
as
ask my point of
Councilman-
information. Mr. Griggs, you might be misguided on
Councilman
the
Mays,
open.
a point
Let
of
me
information
finish
is
my
a question.
point of. I know it is gonna end in a question, Ms. Galloway. Can we have latitude to ask a question in a point? Well, I'm gonna appeal that. We do get latitude to ask a point of information. I appeal your
There's
ruling.
an
No, we
appeal
can't ask a
of the
point of
chair.
information.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Mr. Mays, you were using a privileged motion to take the floor. You said, Councilwoman Galloway, and I said, I'll get you. Ms. Fields has been waiting. You would be next. But you were using a privileged motion because you asked me, can I respond to him? And I said, 1 second. And you decided you were going to
Point of
respond
order.
anywhere.
Point of
What is
order.
your point of order?
You arguing the case. It ain't open for debate. Your job right now is to state that you said we couldn't do a point of information. That's what I'm
That's not
appealing.
true. You
That
said,
is
can
true.
you get some latitude? And I said no.
Point of order. State what you ruled at our appeal.
You
That's where we at.
appealed. You said, can you give some latitude? And I said no. And you said, we appeal your decision.
On you not honoring a point of information.
That's not true, Councilman
That's
Mays.
True,
You
very
said, can't
true.
you get some latitude? And I said no.
Well,
and
finish
you
what you're
said,
doing,
I
and then you'll
appeal
open
your
it up for
decision.
debate. But you was in debate and hadn't stated your ruling.
Councilman
Your
Mays,
ruling that you
please.
wasn't going to honor a point of
That's
information.
not what I said.
That's exactly
If
what
I
you
decided that I wasn't gonna be the chair and I gave it to the president, all of this would go away. But you're not being fair. And you're trying to monopolize.
Point of order, we in an appeal. What is you talking to me for? Your job is to state what the appeal is and open it up for debate, not to be chastising me like you've been doing since we've been here.
It's not that.
Point of order, we in an appeal, not for you telling me about giving the chair to Winfrey and all. You out of order, way out.
Unless you know that you're off scope. How
You
about
know
that?
more about me than I know about myself. You know who I'm trying to block, what I'm doing. You're living in a fantasy makeup world and you're causing confusion, Ms. Galloway, with this council person, because I'm shocked. Do some arithmetic, and then we'll have to ask the state if they're going to approve that, because indications from the media, they haven't just said they will. So the contractors, this is an example of a contractor of both service lines and restoration. Exactly the places that money will be spent. So he clearly fits into the scope of this inquiry.
So I just want to say for the record, as much as I appreciate him being here, I do not agree. And I'm going to tell you why I do not agree.
Okay,
There
Ms.
is
Galloway.
no, Councilman
Ms.
Mays,
Galloway,
I
point
have
of
the
order.
floor.
Yeah, but I'm going to take it because this is for the witness to ask questions. I'm giving you the floor to ask him questions.
Councilman
if you
Mays,
got questions for the
you
witness,
spent the last
Ms.
5 to 7.
Galloway.
No,
Point
come
of
on.
order.
What's your point?
Can we let her finish?
Thank you.
Ms. Galloway, this is to ask the witness questions. That's why we said if you want time to do it, we talked about
Councilman
2 or 3.
Mays,
Ms.
you
Galloway,
are
if you're
infringing
not
on
gonna
my
ask the
ability.
witness
Councilman
questions-
Mays, I will make my statement, and then if I have questions, I will ask
Well,
you.
what's
I
your
asked
statement?
you
Go
to
ahead.
yield the floor.
I don't have to
The
yield.
reason why I am concerned with this line of questioning is because
What line?
we know I'm concerned about him being here today, and I'm the one that brought forth the issue with their contract to the city council. The reason why I am concerned about being able to speak with Mr. Parks before speaking to AECOM is because there are issues with other contracts, such as Martha
Galloway, you
Brown's
out of order.
contract. I am not out of
I'm
order.
gonna give you
I
one
can
warning.
make a statement.
Anybody who want to ask questions, well, complete
You can
your
remove
statement.
me. I
Complete your
am
statement. You're out
concerned
of order.
about having this conversation with Mr. Parks because I am questioning whether there are other motives that are actually a part of asking him questions. He is
Well,
not
don't ask him none.
intricate.
Let us proceed.
Councilman Mays, I respect you, but you are being a chairperson that is infringing on my ability to communicate. You have spoken, shared your thing, and for me, based on the scope that you set, Mr. Parks today is here outside of the scope. That is just my own opinion. I think
Are
that
you
there are
done?
other underlying things
Are you done?
in asking
Ms.
Mr.
Garrett,
Parks
Mr.
these
Garrett?
questions. Mr. Mays,
you don't have
I
any
will make sure that you know that I am necessary for the quorum.
We
so
don't
you
care
will
if the
respect
quorum
me
break
or
up.
you
We
can
got
put
a
me
date.
out.
We got a
You
date
are wrong.
certain. You
are
really
wrong in your
embarrassing this
chairing.
council.
You are wrong in your
Okay,
chairing.
finish your statement and then let's leave to go to questioning.
You
So
don't-
go
you don't
ahead.
get to
We'll
threaten
sit here and listen to you. It's 10:15. You want it to 12 o'clock? Go ahead. You got the floor.
You guys, I am going to listen to Mr. Parks while you guys ask some questions, but I promise you, if Councilman Mays continues in this vein to share everything that he wants to share, and then when you desire to make a statement, he thinks he can...
Ms. Galloway, you asked me a question about the scope. Now, Mr. Metcalf, if I say I want somebody gone, or if I say we recess, we getting out of here. Ms. Galloway, this ain't a clown show. Mr. Guerra, did you have something? Proceed. You can stay or go. This is getting ridiculous.
Yes.
Mr. Guerra, proceed.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
The vote is 6 yes, 0 no on 200034.
Thank you. So the next one,
Madam Chair.
Mr. Davis?